Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2. This is Chapter 31. It is called Movements of the Living Entities. So, a small recap of what we had done till yesterday. Now, the child is created in the womb by the male and the female, sperm and the egg. And it has taken shape. So from the moment the child is formed as a first cell to the nth, where he starts developing different organs, a time comes when he starts becoming aware of the surroundings. He has got an identification that he is separate. That is the time, somewhere in the 7th month, that the consciousness has come into the picture. When we say divine consciousness is the divine Lord. The individual consciousness is the one where the individual comes into the picture. That means I am there, I am separate. I am a part of the whole, but I am separate. This is the individuality that comes into the picture. Now the next thing that happens is the child is nearly growing inside. It is in the womb of the mother and it is under terrible stress and strain inside. So when he is developing the consciousness, he has to look around. And when he sees that he is hung upside down by a cord where he is fed through pipes, his own blood is not there, he is having his, everything is working through someone else, the individuality then starts developing inside. Today we are going to understand how the child is feeling within and what does he feel, what does he think on those lines. So we will start today's satsang. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2. This is Chapter 31, which says the movements of the living entities, verse 16 onwards. No one other than the Supreme God, that is the Lord Himself, as the localized Paramatma, the partial representation of the Lord, is directing all inanimate and animate objects. He is present in the 3 phases of time, past, present and the future. Therefore, the conditioned soul is engaged in different activities by his direction. And in order to get free from the threefold miseries of the conditional life, we have to surrender unto him only. So there are certain sentences which we need to understand. First and foremost, the whole activity inside the womb, there is a supreme director for that. Okay? We may think that the mother is doing all the activity within. No. There is no way of saying that she is the one responsible. No. That is only a womb. It's a place where things are carried. It's like an egg, When you have eggs, inside the egg is the child getting formed, right? A chicken or something. In a similar fashion, there is something which is right round the womb. The child is getting fed automatically. He is getting whatever that he needs inside. It is a process which is directed by one entity. And this one entity whom we say as the Param Atma. Now, what is the difference between the Supreme Lord and Paramatma? Now, the moment the Supreme Lord believes that there is a formation means something happened, he becomes the Supreme Divine Soul. Okay? And from the Supreme Divine Soul, there is a separation within. Basically it is not real. But the process of thinking makes it that I am separate. And then what happens is this, that is the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, and this is the independent entity within. Okay? We call him Jivatma. He is alive. He is having activity. He is thinking of himself as a separation from the Paramatma. So the Paramatma is directing the activities within. That is why it is mentioned as a localized Paramatma, the partial representation of the Lord. I hope you get the point. The partial representation, it is not something which is the Lord himself is doing it. No. For him to do, he has created an identification. That identification is called the soul, super soul, Param Atma. If there was nothing there, then what was the need of Paramatma? Then only the Lord's existence is there. Nothing beyond that. I hope you get that point. Now, you have to know that this Paramatma is directing everything. So he is the one who has been given the charge of ensuring that everything is done in a specific manner. So there is a Supreme Lord, there is a Paramatma. The Paramatma is directing activities within the womb. He is the one who is in charge of the past, the present and the future. He is the master of time. Paramatma is the master of time. Therefore, the conditioned soul is engaged in different activities. So the conditioned soul which is inside the womb believes that he was conceived at a date. Okay? He feels, I am conceived at a particular date. Now I am an independent identity. So I am there as a conditioned soul. I have conditions around me. Everything is directed in a certain manner. Now, what does he do? He is thinking, why am I put in this condition? Why is the Lord put me in this place in the first place? I don't like it. This is what everybody is thinking, isn't it? If God has nothing to do, why did he create this world? Isn't that what you think also? It's a very non-logical question. You start believing that the Lord has nothing to do, so he created one Paramatma and then he created conditioned souls also. I hope you get that. So this child inside who thinks he is independent, conditioned soul, he starts believing that why do I have to have this separation? Can I not just go back into the place where I came from? I don't want this. Right? So, verse 17, fallen into the pool of blood, stool, urine within the abdomen of his mother, his own body scorched by the mother's gastric fire, the embodied soul, anxious to get out, counts his months and prays. O my Lord, when shall I, a wretched soul, be released from this confinement? Look at what the child is thinking. The child who is in the womb is disgusted with the things around. Remember, he is a living entity within the womb. Does he need to be fed or no? So he has to be fed. When something is fed, do you think there are The things that are need to be thrown out are also there, which is called feces, urine, blood, and all those kind of things. So naturally, when the organs have started working, all these things happen at one time. And imagine the child is floating in this flotsam, the dirt around. We all think that, this amniotic fluid and whatever is so pure and so nice and so good. But the child is disgusted with it. If I were to put you in that fluid upside down, even with a breathing apparatus, do you really think you will appreciate it? I don't think. You will have disgust for it, isn't it? It may be your own mother's fluid. You are a human being, and understand one thing, how would you feel to be in this kind of a muck? You don't like the dirt outside your house and in the gutters over there. Aren't creatures born in the gutters also? The whole world is nothing but a daldal. Daldal means a place where they have the loose soil that is there. Okay. I will get the word, don't worry. Now, if that kind of a thing is there, and in that there are animals, birds and plants and so many things coming about, don't you feel that this is where we are also in? So the child is not interested in hanging on there for long. He is just praying to God, can you please take me out of this place? Can you please take me out of this place? I don't like this dirt and I don't like being confined in this place. It is such a narrow place. The baby could be a few kgs in weight, like they say in pounds and all. Okay. Do you think that creature inside is interested in just hanging around over there? It hates every moment over there. And that is why he says, "Oh my Lord, when shall I, a wretched soul, be released from this confinement?" Now, is he talking of coming out, or is he talking of getting rid of his body itself? Ask yourself this question. He is actually not talking of the body. He is not talking of the womb. He is talking about his own self. Why have you trapped me inside this body? How many of you may be thinking, why am I here? What is the need for me to take up this body? Can I not have a body of a king or a queen or something like that? You will also be thinking like that, no? So it is always going to be like, I want something else. So then, my dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, I was awakened to consciousness, although I am only 10 months old. For this causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord, the friend of all fallen souls, there is no way to express my gratitude but to pray with folded hands. Sorry. Now, what is he saying? The child is saying, I want to thank you, my dear Lord, for giving me this body. Okay? But I don't feel nice about this whole thing. But now that you have shown me your causeless mercy also, there must be some reason for it. I am sure you have put me in this body so that I can make provisions to reach you. I have to reach you. That is the reason why you have put me in this body. Isn't it? Why do we always think in terms of positive things? I want to win. I want to get more money. I want to become an independent person. I want to be intelligent. Are you not thinking good stuff? So this child is also started thinking like this. He is thinking that, I am inside this womb. What is 10 months? The completion of 9 months is there, no? The 9 months plus a few days is the way in which the child is born. So it's nearly, they just rounded it off at 10 months. So he says, why have I been in this place for 10 months, confined like this? But you have shown me your mercy, I am still alive. I am still alive in this womb, even in the swirling waters over there. Right? I am still alive. You're providing me with food inside the womb also. You're providing me with food, water and everything that I need. And I'm growing inside. So he says your causeless mercy is there. Okay? You are the ones who is a friend of the fallen souls. Fallen souls are those people who do not even think of God at any point in time. Thinking of God doesn't mean that you have to, oh, I am thinking of God because I am in trouble. No. Thinking of God as a very, very regular thing. Okay? It has to be so regular that for anything in this world you have to thank God for Him. Correct? There is no way to express my gratitude but to pray with folded hands. So he is saying, the child inside, the fetus inside is saying, the only way in which I can, keep on being under your mercy is to thank you for why I am over here. The living entity is another type of a body seen only by instinct. He knows only the agreeable and the disagreeable sense perception of the particular body. But I have a body in which I can control my senses, I can understand my destination. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisance in the Supreme Lord, by whom I have been blessed with this body and by whose grace I can see Him within and without. This is a beautiful sentence. What does this sentence tell us? There are lots of sentient beings, there are lots of creatures in this world. Do you think they have been given such a beautiful brain or a mind like yours? So there could be a creature who may be a bird, who may be an animal, who may be an insect or whatever. But your causeless mercy is such that you have given me human body. See, to get a human body is one of the greatest gifts given to the person. You could be born as any other creature, but you are given a human body. So we have to be thankful for the human body. Then he says, you have given me two things. I know how to work with my senses. I have been given the senses, isn't it? All the senses that are there. You have given me organs of action also. And there is a master of all of that, is called the mind. It is you who has given those things to me so that I can understand. And I appreciate you giving me these wonderful gifts. With these senses and the mind, I will be able to come to you. Okay? The next thing is I have to understand my destination. What is the meaning of the word destination? Destination is a place where I want to go. So there is a place. I have to go over there. Right? So what is the destination? What do you think is the destination of the child now? Can you understand? Remember, he came from the Paramatma. So what is the final destination? The Paramatma itself, isn't it? Won't you agree with me? So why has he come over here? Now see where the whole problem starts. We are going to now understand where the problem starts. So he says, I want to thank you for giving me this wonderful body of a human being who is in the position to understand and take decisions. I know my destination. I know my destination. My destination is to reach you using my senses and other things, right? And that is the reason why I offer my obeisance and I thank you for it. I have been blessed with the body by whose grace I can see Him within and without. This is the only reason. Because I am a human being, so I can see you here also and outside as well. Therefore, my Lord, though I am living in a terrible condition, I do not wish to depart from my mother's abdomen to fall again into the blind well of materialistic life. Your external energy called Deva Maya at once captures the newly born child and immediately false identification, which is the beginning of the cycle of continuous birth and death, begins. The child, who is an Atma himself, recognizes the biggest problem that is going to happen. So what is the biggest problem that is going to happen? He is going to be born now. When the child is born, what happens to the child? He comes under the spell of Maya. The Lord's Maya. She's going to drag him from understanding that he is a portion of the divine into thinking that he is some man, some human being, some person. The identification separates out, So because the identification is created, his own ego comes into play. He at once captures the newly born child. The moment the child is born, just like that, the moment he is born, he comes under the spell of Maya. He thinks of himself as a separate identity. That is my mother and this is me. This is how he thinks. Can you imagine that? This is where the whole problem starts. And he says, it is immediately called false identification. I start forgetting who I am. In the womb, I had only one thing to think of. Think about it. I want you to think about it. If you are in a confined space, what is the one thought that is going on in your mind? I want to liberate myself from this confined space. Isn't that what you are thinking? If you are in a jail, you are thinking, I want to be free. Isn't that what you are thinking? If you are caught up in any relationship, what is it that you are thinking of? Freedom, isn't it? I want to be free. Okay? So everybody is seeking this freedom. So this child also is actually seeking the freedom. Got the point? And that is the reason why he says, I have started this journey of falsely thinking that I am going to be born in this world. That is not the freedom I am looking for. He says, it is the beginning of the cycle. The moment the person is born, the individual is born, what happens? The identification happens, his birth happens, and his death also happens. The clock has started ticking, isn't it? Maya comes into the play, so beginning and the end has started. But if he was not there, then what would have happened? No question of rebirth, isn't it? But because he is now taking a form and an identification, so his birth has started and his death is also programmed, and he is now going to go through the material worldly Maya. It is called Deva Maya. Okay? And that is the reason why rebirth is very much in the picture. Therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nescience with the help of my friend, the clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering the womb of many mothers for repeated birth and death. Are you getting the point? The child is praying to the Lord and saying, the one friend that is there with me is called the consciousness. I have a consciousness. I am aware. The awareness and the consciousness is there. I am not this person. I am the Jivatma. I am a portion of the divine. The Paramatma is there and I am that portion of the Paramatma. He realizes this and he says, I am going to keep the consciousness in my mind constantly. So I will remember throughout my life that there is an entity called Paramatma and I have to go over there only. I hope you get that point. So here he says, if I keep the feet of the Lord in my mind constantly, I just have to keep the feet of the Lord in my mind. The one anchor that I need to hold on to, in my life. The feet of the Lord. Remember this. It is always the feet of the Lord that is the anchor in anybody's life. So if I keep the feet of the Lord in my mind constantly, then I know that I have to go back to Him only. Okay? Then that will give me the way of stopping this rebirth cycle continuously. Okay? So I will then be stopped from taking another womb and taking another mother in my life. How many mothers you have had since you were born? The first time. You have had millions of births, correct? Every time there is a mother who has given birth to you. How many wombs you have passed through? So many. This time you are a human being. And because of the human birth, this is your human mother, that one who is with you. Okay, and she is just a provision. She is the one who is providing you the womb. That's it. But you have had number of mothers. So here is the way in which we have to think. That there is only one mother as far as we are concerned. And we don't want rebirth again and again. And that is the Divine Lord. So if I have to keep the Divine Lord in my mind, I have to only think about His lotus feet. Lord Kapila continued, the 10-month-old living entity has these desires even while in the womb. But while he thus extols the Lord, the wind that helps parturition propels him forth with the face to turn downward so that he may be born. Pushed downwards all of a sudden by the wind, the child comes out with great trouble, head downwards, breathless and deprived of the memory due to severe agony. The birth by itself is a painful thing. We always think the woman is going through a terrible trauma. Okay? But 100 times more than that is the child's trauma. The mother was not hung upside down in water for many months. She was alive. She is going around in the world, eating, drinking, sleeping, all these things. But inside her, in a tiny space, is this child. And that child is going through terrible traumatic experience. And to be born through a womb, is another very big trauma. And imagine this child inside is already thinking in terms of what can I do, I want the Lord to be with me. He's constantly thinking. But he has no choice. Now he has to be born. So he comes outside the body. The mother is forcing the child to come outside the body. And the child comes outside the body with all the muck around him. And then he is now supposed to breathe. He has to make noise and he is supposed to breathe. So the only way is, there is a method where the childbirth happens. And then the child thus falls on the ground smeared with stool and blood and plays like a worm germinated from the stool. He loses his superior knowledge and cries under the spell of Maya. Nowadays the child may not fall down, The doctor is going to drag the child out. He is going to wrap him up. But hasn't he come from the dirt and the muck? Yes. And on top of it all, when he is born, it's like a worm, isn't it? Taking birth from the pile of trash that is there inside a body. It is not such a healthy thing to look at. So naturally he is born in from that way. The human beings have this habit of thinking that it is such a great thing. But think from the child's perspective. I want you to think from the child's perspective. First and foremost, he is trapped inside the body. Like today, are you not thinking you are trapped inside your body? When you are born itself, you are thinking, I am trapped inside this body. Then on top of it, I am trapped inside this womb. And now I am trapped inside this world. So for him, it is a terrible thing. After coming out of the abdomen, the child is given to the care of the person who is unable to understand what he wants. And thus he is nursed by such person. Unable to refuse whatever is given to him, he falls into the undesirable circumstances. Now this is something which we don't understand. The child is saying something, but can you understand that? The person who is going to take him in the hand has no idea what she is supposed to do. Neither the doctor knows, nor the mother knows, nor the father knows anything. And the child is crying. You feel the child is crying because he is hungry. So isn't it a wrong notion? And that is what he is saying. They are unable to understand what he wants. You know, very strangely, how many people know what they want? Nobody knows. Today, you are in this material world. You people are all grown-up people. You have no idea what you want. If you were to go to a restaurant also and pick up a menu, you are not going to be able to decide anything. You know the reason why? Because when you were to be trained to take decisions, you never understood. Why? There was nobody to handhold you and tell you what decisions to take. You were never able to be guided properly. So today you are a confused human being. Between the age of the birth till 8 years, the mind is getting developed and gets to understand a lot of things. The child develops decision-making capabilities at that point in time. He knows. If he decides, he knows exactly what he wants. Okay? Now, how does the child know what is a right decision and a wrong decision? There is no way of knowing because he has to be handheld by whoever is teaching him, isn't it? Right or wrong? So if there is a mother and a father and they themselves are idiots, what knowledge are they going to transmit to the child? Think about it. There is no way in which the child will understand decision making. So the idea is we have to understand this. This is a long story. We will be doing it in the future. I will guide you through the process. But just now, the child is born. The mother doesn't know what to do. The father doesn't know what to do. Even the grandparents or whoever they are also having no idea what they are supposed to do. The child cries, they think the child is crying because he wants food. So they gorge him with food. Eat, drink. If you have noticed, the child does lose motions throughout. You understand? The child will be, pooping all the time. Think like that. Why is he doing that? There is no way of understanding. You cannot understand the child's nature and neither the child understands what this mother or father is doing or whoever is taking care of the child. So, they are nursed by such persons who are ignorant to the core. Unable to refuse what is given to him. Does he have a choice of saying, I don't want? He does like this. But the mother and the father are forcing the child to eat that thing. Very strangely. How do they look at that? When you are feeding the child, what does a mother and the father and the people around think? Do you know what they think? We have to give nutritious food to the child. Okay? What we have to do? Give nutritious food to the child. Second, the nutrition has to be clean and beautiful. See the way the thinking is, okay? I want you to think of this. This is something which you need to think very, very seriously in your life. You are thinking, can I wash this apple and give? So you will wash it under water and under disinfectants or whatever that you put on top of that apple, and then you wash it and give. Okay? And while giving the apple, you think that there is a covering to the apple that needs to be peeled off. Look at the way a woman thinks or a man thinks. The covering has to be removed. The seeds have to be removed. What is inside has to be fed to the child. Look at the way thinking is. Has it ever occurred to you that your thinking is wrong? No. You are reading in books, you are looking at YouTubes, you are thinking about that I will get more knowledge. A simple question today morning, which Rajma asked me, and I given the answer. I want you to listen to the question and the answer. Okay? There is a person who comes to clean the house. This person cleans the house. So Rajma looks at that and says, yes, this place is dirty still. Okay? The place is dirty. There is some dust lying over there. This person who is coming to clean is not cleaning it properly. So I'll get someone who will clean the place. See the way thinking is. Okay? So do you want cleanliness? Yes. So I asked a question. Do you know, in the Indian households, as per the scriptures, we are cleaning the house. We are cleaning the house with cow dung. Are you understanding? After the house is wiped clean, we put cow dung on top of the place. Now tell me, is cow dung clean? It's a animal poop. And you are putting that on the ground. So is it clean? So the answer is no. The westernized world thinks cow dung and cow shit is the dirtiest thing on planet Earth. The urine is the worst thing on planet Earth. The cow urine is the worst. But we in India clean the house, clean, dirty, sweep it, and then to make it P-U-R-E. What do we make it? Pure. To make the place pure, we put a layer of cow dung on that. Now I want you to think about it. This idiotic woman who is looking towards the Western standards is saying, no, according to the Western way, we have to peel this and we have to give it. Well, you are the biggest idiot in the world. No. Is it clean or is it pure? This answer human beings can't give because they are conditioned by the Western influence. Do you think Eve ate the apple, cleaning it in water and then, removing the skin on top and then eating. Did Eve eat the apple like that? No. So then what makes you think that you need to do like that? We have to look at the purity of the place, not cleanliness. When are you going to understand that your mind has to be pure, not clean? This is the difference between purity and cleanliness. Human beings want to be clean. So what they do is they take water. The water in the Middle East, Singapore and other countries, what do? They take the salt water from the ocean, okay, and they remove and they make it drinking potable water. Do you think that is a potable water? Do you think the water which goes from your toilet is then, put through various processes and then it comes back as a pure drinking water, so-called? You think it is pure? No. Purity has nothing to do with that water. The water which you are drinking from the streams, the streams, it may have 1,000,000 germs in it, but that is called pure. You may be drinking water from Ganga river, it is pure. What do you think the Western world looks at it as? And what do you think these idiotic Indians who are converted to the Western philosophy think? They think, people are, they are pushing all the dirt inside Ganga. Are you getting the point or no? Dead bodies are pushed inside Ganga. Flowers are pushed inside. This is pushed inside. And that water we are supposed to think as clean? Sorry, it's the dirtiest water. This is where we miss out. So the child is thinking something else and the mother and the father are thinking something else. The child is nothing but the child of God. He is not able to communicate. He doesn't know your language. And this is where the problem starts. So when women and men in this world force their identification on the child, they are wrong. Are you getting the point? When the mother and the father is forcing the child, see, please understand, you need your child to be godly or you need your child to be clean according to all the standards. Well, you have to decide. You want a godly child or you want an ugly child, or one who is in the materialistic world. You are trying to create a materialist child. What is the mother supposed to teach? How to be good. Okay? How to be godly. That is what the mother is supposed to teach. The child is God's child. The child has to behave in a godly manner. You are making him a Western expert. That is not how you are supposed to be. Ours is a Sanatan Dharma. Don't try to make the child as a Westerner. You yourself are Westerner. You have some standards, I wanted to eat like this only. I want to eat like that only. I want to live like this. I want to live like that. If you don't understand, you have never been taught in your life. You are the biggest ignorant person on earth. And this is the reason why you are a failure. And your child, you are making him into a bigger failure by teaching him things which are materialistic world. You are a materialist. Your child is going to be more materialistic. No idea about godliness. Think about it. When we go to church or when we go to temples, at least as far as I am concerned and the generation that I grew up, When we go to the temple, we are taught how to say the prayers. We stand over there with our hands held like this. Okay? And we know the prayers well. We say the prayers, we pray to God. Our focus is only that God over there. Have you seen children going to church? Their parents have taught them there should be no noise in the church. Have you seen it's a pin drop silence? Even the child is sitting over there with the Bible in hand. Look at our children today. They are, completely indisciplined to the core. They don't know prayers. They don't know what is God. Even if they know that they are going to a temple, they are not in the right frame of mind because they have never been taught Sanskriti. This is important. Do you want your child to become godly or you want to make him demonic? Think about it. The Islamic people and the Christians know all this very well. They train their children to go to temple, churches and the mosques. Do you think their children will refuse? Your parents have told you to refuse. So you make your child refuse. Second thing, you have never taught your child about God, Hindus especially. What do? You never even tell them that this is important to go. You have to visit a temple, you have to visit the place of worship. You should be in pin drop silence, you should be doing the prayers. Nobody learns. This is where we go wrong. There is no discipline in the life. That is why I believe the child should be taught from the beginning of their life. That is why the madrasas are good. At least they are teaching them the way in which to pray to God. Which Hindu teaches the child to pray to God? They themselves don't know God. What Paramatma are you talking about? You don't even know what you are talking about. And you allow your children to misbehave? No, there is a methodology. There is a way. In the church and in the temple, everywhere, there is a way of behavior. You cannot behave and misbehave. And you need to be first knowing this. The child is nothing but an extension of the divine who has come, and you have made the child into a miserable person because you yourself don't know anything. So first learn. See, those who try to teach Sanatan Dharma should know this very well. First teach your children. First you learn yourself and then teach the children. Islam teaches. Christianity teaches. They read the Bible. They read the Quran. What do you read? You are not even interested in reading the Bhagavad Gita. This is the thing that has happened in India. I feel very sad for the way how people behave. In this lied down on a foul bed infested with sweat and germs, the poor child is incapable of scratching his body to get relief from the itching sensation, to say nothing of sitting up, standing or even moving. As a child, you have wrapped the child up in some cloth and you have put those imported diapers. You know that, no? The amount of money that you spend on that. Oh, it has to be clean, it has to be clean. This is what you have taught yourself. What clean? Are you getting the point or no? So, the child is helpless, is lying in that place. Cannot get up also, cannot talk also, cannot sit also. A poor thing is dependent on an idiot like you. In his helpless conditions, Gnats, mosquitoes, bugs, other germs bite the body. Skin is tender. Just as a small worm bites a big worm, the child deprived of the wisdom cries bitterly. The child is deprived of a wisdom. When you yourself don't know the Bhagavad Gita and you don't know the scriptures yourself, you don't know how to bring up your own children, how are you going to train that child? Are you getting this point? You have lost yourself away from the religion. You think you know too much. You know? But the way in which the child has to be brought up, look at the younger children today. They don't care about God. Who is responsible for it? From 0 to 8, they were with whom? The mother more than the father. And that mother has not been a good mother. She has never taught him what he is supposed to do or she is supposed to do. They themselves don't know Bhagavad Gita. What are they trying to teach? They are trying to make that into a religious cult, you know. Namaskar karo, ye aisa karo, wo aisa karo. No, that is not correct. Tell the child about God. In this way, the child passes through his childhood, suffering different kinds of distress and attains boyhood. In boyhood also, he suffers pain over desires to get things he can never achieve, and thus, due to ignorance, becomes angry and sorry. How many of you are angry and sorry? I guess everybody. Why? You wanted something. I want this, I want this, I want this. And you never got it. You have made yourself miserable. Just like that, you are going to make your child miserable. Because you don't understand a word of what he is talking or what he is saying or she is saying. The child passes through childhood, suffering different kinds of distress. The mother or the father don't understand a damn thing what the child is going through. You are leading them up a path where you are making them, you have to come first, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to pander to that child. You understand what I am saying or no? And this world is making them into such horrible creatures that they hate everything that they do. Are you not the person who hated everything that you did? And today, are you not the person who hates everything in life? There is no love in your life because as a child, you never trained yourself to be that good human being. And neither did your mother or father did that. They themselves don't know anything about spirituality or God or whatever. They left the child to the winds. Somebody will teach that child. Somebody. Who? The school? The school is a westernized concept. Look at the young people that are there today. They are talking of, an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old is thinking of K-pop, this thing, that thing. They are talking about, this black, that black, all kinds of things. They have gone into the Americanized concept of giving languages. Speaking in a language you don't understand, There is no godliness left in that child. You are responsible for the godliness in the child. You think passing examinations is good? You are not making him into a good human being. This is where I feel that we are missing out. The child has been taught in other religions, they have been taught their holy books. They know 5 times a day they have to pray. 5 times. How many times do your children pray? How many times do you pray, sir? You don't even know what prayers are. You don't know Bhagavad Gita, you don't know any scripture, you don't know any prayers. This is very important. So as you grew up, you became a miserable human being. And thus, due to ignorance, he becomes angry and sorry. With the growth on the body, the living entity, in order to vanquish his soul, increases his false prestige and anger and thereby creates enmity towards similarly lusty people. Do you understand why you are so angry? When you are growing, this living entity that you are today, when you really want to kill your own soul, the goodness that is there about God, you destroyed it in your life. How? By increasing false prestige. You know what is the false prestige? The first prestige that comes, I come from this family, I come from this place, I come from this place. You know the kind of thing that you say to yourself? Then you think, these are my parents, this is where I live, this is what I do. I came first in school, I did this, I did that. That is called false prestige. When you think you are coming first or you are doing well in your studies, it is not prestige. It is the Western concept. The Britishers came and brainwashed you. Are you getting the point? They came and they said, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. They never taught you your own history. This is what happened to you. Okay? And that is why you got very angry. And you created enmity towards similar lusty people. You hate everybody in your life now. Which person you like? Tell me. When I am telling you those people are praying 5 times a day, you hate those people. When I am saying they go to church, you hate those people. You are talking about conversion. We are not talking about conversion. Here I am talking about praying to God. Why are you not praying? Why is your children not in that state of being? It's because you have become ignorant to the core. By such ignorance, verse 30, the living entity accepts the material body which is made up of 5 elements as himself. With this misunderstanding, he accepts non-permanent thing as his own and increases his ignorance in the darkest region. And this is the reason why. Because their parents have never taught them anything. He has not learnt anything. He doesn't know who is God. He has forgotten God when he came out in this world. And now he is only running after things in life. He has been told, you have to achieve this, you have to achieve that, you should know this, you should know that. Material worldly stuff. You should get good ranks, you should come out in good flying colors. Then you have to take up a good job. That is what you got to do. You have to be a good human being by becoming a rich person. This is what you have told him. Are you making him pure? No. You have made him into a impurest person in the world. He may be dressed very nicely. Nowadays idiots, even all the corporate people wearing coat and tie and this and that, they may be dressed very nattily. But they are the most impurest people in the world. There is no purity, there is no godhood in them. And this is what you have made to understand. You are also in the same position. Please understand, you have now running after non-permanent things, which is the ignorance that you are running after. Money, power, jobs, this, that, houses, cars, you name it, money, gold. I don't know why with gold and everything. I want to be good in this world. I want to earn this living. I want to do. This is what you are running after. And you are making your children do the same. And this is where we have come to today. So we have come to the end of verse 30. We will stop over here for today.